is the first and only Indian channel to report live from headquarters of the International Court of Justice at Hague. Our Assistant Editor Defense Ashish Singh has got us exclusive insights into Pakistan's strategy at the International Court of Justice. Sources have told NewsX that Pakistan had preempted India's move on Jadhav on 29th of March itself. Pakistan had revised its commitment to the ICJ and withdrawn all domestic and national security issues from the jurisdiction of the court on 29th of March, such before India approached ICJ for Jadhav's death sentence. India has approached ICJ purely to decide on violations of Vienna Conventions and for consular access to Kulbhushan Jadhav. Sources also say Panic Pakistan is planning to rake up the 1999 Atlantic incident as well. Ashish Singh joining us live from Hague. He's following all the developments there at the International Court of Justice. Ashish, it must be morning there. Tell us about developments expected in this case. We've been tracking how Pakistan has been in huddle where the entire case of Kulbhushan Jadhav is concerned, and Pakistan preempted in the last week of March that India will be approaching the ICJ. On day 2 of you being there, what are you expecting to happen?
Well, both the sides, the Indian and the Pakistan government, are preparing themselves for the Monday hearing. In fact, the ICJ itself is preparing. There are at least 17 to 18 journalists from India, Pakistan and from various other countries. Remember, India-Pakistan issue is something which has now attracted the international attention, and keeping that aspect in mind, there's huge media coverage that's we are going to witness on Monday, and that's the reason why ICJ is also preparing itself. Now, there are proper security checks for media journalists, the accreditation, the request, and everything is being processed as we speak. Right behind me is the building. I'll just move out of the frame so that our viewers can get a sense of. This is the Peace Palace right here in The Hague in the Netherlands. One of the sides of this building, on the right side of the building, is the International Court of Justice, the place that would decide the future course of India-Pakistan relations. And the ICJ itself has started preparing for at least last 48 hours since the time the ICJ president has sent a notice to the Pakistan government. Now, talking about the preparation from the Indian and Pakistani government side,
yes.
Both the teams have arrived here already last night, and their embassy members, their officials from the Ministry of External Affairs have arrived here. They're talking to a lot of senior journalists, senior advocates, I beg your pardon. Also, I'm told that the ICJ president has spoken to both the sides. This is before the hearing would begin on Monday. Now, that certainly helps us understand that it's one issue that at the international level ICJ is taking extremely seriously. It's not just one of the cases that start here at the ICJ almost on daily basis between two countries. This is one issue that the ICJ president is aware that would have long-term implications on India-Pakistan relations and would also decide the stability factor in the Southeast Asia. Keeping all these factors in mind, not only the Indian and Pakistani government, but also the ICJ here are preparing themselves so that the hearing on Monday would go smooth. Now, as far as the timings are concerned, I just spoke to a couple of officials from the Registrar's Office of the ICJ. What they told me is that from 10 a.m. to 11:30 is when the Indian side would be given to oral representation. Theirs to put forward their side before the president of the ICJ, and from 3 p.m. to 4 for the oral presentation before the president. Now, keeping all these aspects in mind, it's going to be an interesting Monday. The way both the sides have been preparing themselves for the Monday hearing, it certainly is an indication that both the sides are taking it extremely seriously. Remember, once the ICJ gives order in either of the sides, then there is no future options. ICJ is the International Court of Justice.
Right.
Then after that, even the bilateral treaties, even the mutual communication between India and Pakistan will not have any value. And that's the reason this is the, I would say, a
Ashish,
final over in the entire match. And for the final over...
Ashish, you spoke of options. Ashish, you just spoke of options really in this particular case. Let's just say that how India is projecting this clearly as violations there where Vienna Convention is concerned, which is under the jurisdiction of the ICJ. We've been talking about this since yesterday. We know that there was no consular access given to Kulbhushan Jadhav. We're also talking about how this has not been a fair and open trial for Kulbhushan Jadhav, but a military trial really for him. Looking at the options that really lie ahead of Pakistan when they make these arguments, because it's all out in the open that how clearly this is a violation. What options does Pakistan really have, Ashish?
Well, there are not many options before the Pakistan, and that's the reason I'm told Pakistan government and the legal team that has arrived here in The Hague in the Netherlands are extremely wary of the options. What they are now trying to do is they are exploring the clauses and sub-clauses of the ICJ, of the mutual bilateral treaties between India and Pakistan, so that they can stray away from the entire hearing in the ICJ. The basic argument from the Pakistan side most likely would be that the ICJ has no jurisdiction over the Kulbhushan Jadhav trial, and that's the reason why Indian government is preparing, keeping exactly this kind of defense from the Pakistan side in mind. And I'm told that Harish Salve's team includes few officials from the Ministry of External Affairs, from the Law Ministry, from the Prime Minister's office, to ensure that no stone remains unturned as far as the entire hearing on Monday is concerned. And both the sides are really putting their best foot forward. As we speak, in the last 24 hours, both the sides, the Indian and the Pakistan government side, have spoken to the various officials of the International Court of Justice to ensure that not even a single clause or not even a single sub-clause is left out in the hearing on Monday.
Right. Ashish Singh, they're reporting from Hague, right outside the International Court of Justice. Thanks very much for bringing us the latest there from Hague, Ashish. With that, time now for us to take a short commercial break. More lined up.